That's the t-shirt I'm wearing right now, the little wireframe Rareware logo. You know, it's hard to believe that this intro, like, designed to show, like, how ancient the original Donkey Kong is, came 13 years after the arcade Donkey Kong. Yeah, get out of the way, old man. It's time for Generation X to take over. So 13 years, and I guess 13 years ago, from 1994, you know, that was like the most ancient video games. There were some older, obviously, but now, you know, 13 years ago was the time of Diddy Kong Racing DS and Barrel Blast? What the fuck was that? Jet in Europe, but yeah, I don't know. We're gonna... Yeah, I don't have any 101% files on the Wii U. Whatever. I remember all of the theories that the weird Donkey Kong completed head on the map screen with his treehouse there, but then you go forward into the Congo jungle where his treehouse is. I remember all sorts of theories back in the day that that's actually like was where the lost world of the original Donkey Kong Country was, and you could circle all the way back and find some amazing levels there. That's not true. There's no lost world in this game. Apparently I'm too close to the microphone, so I need to back up. I just love my microphone so much, and I've also coated it with honey, so it's delicious right now. Hello to Daily in a live stream. Oh god. Oh god! Alright, so first I'm gonna return to the treehouse. Get my balloon. I'm not ashamed to admit that back in the day, and by the day I mean like the mid-90s, I would spend an inordinate amount of time just hanging out in this treehouse. I think it's because my parents wouldn't let me play with dolls, and so this was like a little slice of domestic make-believe that I could have for myself. How Donkey Kong just spends his free time, which is just bouncing on a tire. Also, what are those? Is that a blanket or a comforter hanging over the bed? Or they look like giant socks or something, but they're striped, and Donkey Kong doesn't wear striped socks. Alright. And then what is the deal with his motion? Like, is that a flat screen on the wall? Like, why is it just a sailboat picture with... And what's swimming back and forth? Is it a fish? Gray fish? I've always wondered that. I just chalked it up as a flat screen TV, but... It might be one of those, like, animated wall pictures that you can plug in. And he's got tires over his, bizarrely, like, pin-up style portrait of his girlfriend. This shows how much their love actually is worth. Why are there rocks that, like, fly out every time you come out? Is he just slowly... breaking down the integrity of this like cave system every time he exits his house so dramatically too? Like you could just walk out through the front door, Donkey Kong. All right, let's. I love how he despairs over the fact that he needs to buy groceries. That's essentially all it is. I'm gonna get killed by the first naughty. Okay, whew, survived. All right. You know, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to the gamepad. This is like my hands are stretched out. Okay. No. How do I have the buttons mapped? Okay. Fuck it. All right. Let's go back up here with Diddy and try this. Oh god. Oh god. 1, 2. Ah, I did it. Okay. Doesn't matter what else happens now. I did that. Stick to the treetops in jungle hijinks to earn lives, says Cranky a million times in this game. They might have patched that in like Europe, but here in the US, oh man, rolling. I have to get used to rolling again because in the retro games you have an infinite roll. So long as you have 2 Kongs, you can just roll as much as you want. And here, it's definitely not like that. Oh, I should drop down to get that. See, I did it again. Jeez. Why am I streaming from the Wii U, someone asked. Because it's easier to stream from a Wii U than an original SNES. There's the steel keg. All right. Look at Donkey Kong's hips. He's got a great ass and he's got great hips. I hate that necky. That necky is the only thing. Okay, that's enough. We gotta get Rampy out. I'm gonna take care of this necky because I don't like him. I don't like him. Okay. To this day, that necky still manages to take me out. It's very good level design there because most people will just charge straight forward, and that's a great way to introduce the concept of bonus stages. I don't feel like the level design of the Donkey Kong Country games gets talked about enough, especially like the original. Obviously, oh, I missed the O? Son of a bitch. No, no, no. I have to get the O. This is now top priority. But I'm gonna have to deal with that necky again, and I don't like that. No, see, it's that nut that always gets me. Okay, it's easier with Rambi. But no, Jungle Hijinks is a really elegantly laid out intro. It doesn't feel like a tutorial or anything, but it just leads you exactly to where you need to be and kind of explains the way the game's gonna work from this point on. Oh, and you can even get a barrel out there if you've already lost Rambi, because there's something down here. And these animal token games, I think everybody hates them these days, and they were cool at the time until you got around like Chimp Caverns and they would suck you out of the level, like those really long cave levels where you're on a track. And which one should I get? I think Espresso is the most fun, and so I'm gonna go with Espresso, who's after Winky. Okay, but I already have an Espresso token, which I don't like. I don't want to do any of these, honestly. See, yeah. That is one element I am glad they retired for the sequel. As much as I love the animal buddies, just the way they sucked you out of the level wasn't great. And now it is... Well, most people say it's nighttime now. I like to think it's the storm from Ropey Rampage rolling in, and this is just that eerie part right before it starts raining and the wind picks up and it gets super dark, and you're like, is this the apocalypse? Is Gozer the Gozerian manifesting in downtown Manhattan? What is happening? And but a lot of people just like to say it's nighttime, and I suppose it could be nighttime and a rainstorm. I mean, those two things aren't mutually exclusive. So I'm gonna just really quick. This is not a speed run, by the way. This is not even a full run. This is just me playing for 90 minutes. But I always have to go back through Jungle Hijinks in the dark. And this was really cool back when I first rented the game in 1994, because I never felt something this immersive when it comes to just completely buying into the game's environment. It really made Donkey Kong Island feel like a real place to me. Now if I go back into one of those doors, then suddenly the sun's back out, which... What is this? Fungus Forest? Or is it Fungi Forest? I always confuse what they went with in Donkey Kong 64 because it's the reverse of what they went with, or we're going to go with in Banjo-Kazooie. Fuck you! And I think, for some reason, because it's one of my least favorite Donkey Kong 64 worlds, because it doesn't feel like a Donkey Kong stage. I think that my brain just refuses to commit that to memory. Let's get out of here. It is weird that there's no secret. I can't get up there with Rambi, can I? There's no secret up on the cave. Ah. You would think there would be a secret up there. No little victory dance, which I love. So many people don't realize that the exclamation mark means you found all of the secrets. And it took me a while to realize that. I don't think I realized it until the sequel, actually. No, it would have been Donkey Kong Land, because Donkey Kong Land, because they don't display level titles, they just put an exclamation mark right next to the level itself. So you pretty quickly figure out what that's for, what that's signifying. But anybody who ever played just the original game, I bet the vast majority have no idea what that means. And here is where I'm going to start sucking, because Ropey Rampage, it is a sharp difficulty spike. I think it's just all the armies. All the armies, and just, it is harder to see, reduced visibility. That was a weak explosion. What the hell, TNT barrel? Yeah, see, nothing up in the cave. I'm just conditioned, I think, because of Donkey Kong Country 2 to always expect secrets in the upper reaches, the upper corner of the screen. And I sort of like that this game doesn't always have to have something there. It kind of makes it a little bit more, I don't want to say realistic, but it makes it mean more when you do find something. Diddy's the wrong one to have with the armies. See, I keep pressing the wrong, okay. I fool myself into thinking I have a Super Nintendo controller, and then I remember I have the clunky ass gamepad, and then I forget all the button layout. Okay. I played Tropical Freeze yesterday while prepping for these streams, and so that's also fresh in my head. I'm making excuses. I do realize I'm making excuses for my ineptitude. See, you think there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So, see, I always miss a bonus in Ropey Rampage. I'll just avoid the armies. Armies have a history because they didn't reappear after Donkey Kong Country. I don't think they were in Donkey Kong Land. They might have been in Donkey Kong Land. I can't remember, but they would go on to almost appear in Donkey Kong 64. They sort of did, because there is the boss Armadillo, who is supposed to be a giant army, but the armies themselves were at one time in the game. Oh, what? Oh, that's where the bonus is. That's the bonus I always miss. Okay, that was my first death. How many deaths am I entitled? Because I'm never looking where that bonus is. The bonus stages in this game are a little cheap at times. They really made it an elegant kind of system in Donkey Kong Country 2. But here, oh man. There are some bonus stages that are just... There's nothing to indicate that there's there, not even a banana. Donkey Kong Country 2, though, really invested more in the exploration factor and going off the beaten course, so it's here, isn't it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Is it that one or that one? Shit. Ha! Okay. Anyway, back to armies, because I was talking about armies. They would appear in Conker's Pocket Tales, too, which is really bizarre. I think they might have only appeared in the Game Boy version of Conker's Pocket Tales. So if you're playing it on an original Game Boy or Super Game Boy or Game Boy Pocket and not a Game Boy Color, you essentially got a completely different game. And armies were one of the baddies in Conker's Pocket Tales, so that's something that Diddy and Conker have in common, besides Diddy Kong Racing, is they both fought the same little armadillo dudes. They were never named as armies in the game, but they were the same model, identical. For more on Conker's Pocket Tales, Well, I don't think they're playing any Conker's Pocket Tales on any of the streams, but... Oh, there's a Winky token. The DK Vine Idaho crew, who will be playing games in the back half of all of our stream days. Yep. They're experts on Conker's Pocket Tales. The shell game here. Okay. All right, look, it's been a while, all right? And plus, you know, I'm doing so well, I don't even need any extra lives, right? Yeah, sure. Fucking army. Ah! Yeah, take that. See, okay. That select button will be the death of me. Oh, but I can also just tag by pressing Y, apparently. That's how I have it mapped. Alright, so, show of hands, how many people have to always make Donkey Kong be the one to beat Jungle Hijinks, and then give Diddy Ropey Rampage? I try to alternate as best I can, but I feel like Donkey Kong needs to beat Jungle Hijinks, because if Diddy's the one who beats it, then he's got nothing to prove. Like, his whole story arc is that he's the protege, the novice, the trainee, and if he's showing up Donkey Kong right out of the gate, it's pretty bad. I'm going back into Ropey Rampage to tag out, though, and then start select. Because I have to have Donkey in the lead here. Cranky is at his most dickish in Donkey Kong Country 2. He's downright brutal in that game. He even calls Wrinkly ugly at one point, his wife. But that's pretty mean here too, considering he beats his son/grandson. Cranky is completely useless in this game, especially if the patch isn't in effect, where he's just giving advice beyond the first world. But I love it. I love just sitting here and reading his inane ramblings. And that's what I love about Rare's Donkey Kong Country games. That's one reason they have a leg up over retros, which I also love. I also love the retro games, but there's no need for this to be here. This is worthless. This is just in-universe flavor, but it really sells the universe to me. It makes me feel like this is a real place with real weirdos. There is a sense of history, of familiarity between these characters, and it makes me love their world even more. And I feel like the Nintendo game design philosophy is a lot more economical. It's, we don't need that. It doesn't benefit gameplay, so let's cut it. And, you know, there are different schools of thought in game design, and I've never pretended to be a game designer, but I do like how varied the bonus stages in the original Donkey Kong Country are. It's just like, oh, go through a tunnel, go through a cave tunnel really lazily, collect some stuff, and then you leave. Not as much fanfare or feeling that you could, like, I don't know, succumb to defeat. Of course, this is just a spectacle here. This is just like hands off the controller and watch them get ping-ponged around. I do like the structure that Donkey Kong Country 2 introduced. You know, the destroy them all, collect the stars, find the token, but I have a soft spot for this too. So listen to that music. I should stop talking so you can listen to it, but the original Donkey Kong Country, which wasn't just David Wise, Eveline Fisher also composed for it, and of course, Robin Beanland did the funky music, which was originally for the Killer Instinct trailer. But, It's a lot more ambient than later Donkey Kong Country games would be. In fact, like, this whole game is just a lot moodier, I think, than Donkey Kong Country 2 even can be. Donkey Kong Country 2 maybe in tone, but as far as atmospherics and environment, this is the moodiest game in the series, and I think it would get much more cartoony as time would go on, even under Rare. Like, obviously Donkey Kong 64, but you see where things were gonna go before the buyout, 2001, 2002, that slate of games. It was gonna be kind of a bit sillier than this. This is the most serious Donkey Kong has ever taken itself. Shit. Oh, I have one more shot at this. I thought I was gonna go through that slipper and it didn't. Ha! Well, that worked. And you know, I like the different tones in the Donkey Kong series. Maybe not Donkey Kong 64 so much, but I do like Country 2, Country 3, obviously. I like the way those games feel. But I would really like to see a modern Donkey Kong game that kind of gets back to this feeling, this a little somber in tone, where like the things that make the music in the background are just ambient noises like water dripping off. Ah! You tricky little... Alright. The water dripping off stalactites and that kind of thing. The mine stages, like the misty mines, and those are the creepiest stages because you hear like what sounds like dogs barking, but not in the like Super Mario Brothers, the new Super Mario Brothers soundtrack way, where it's just like part of the beat is just ambient, creepy noise. And now we are in, I guess this is supposed to be, some people think it's like a little bay or something. It might be a saltwater lake. Like coral capers. This is mind-blowing back in '94. It looks quaint now, obviously, aside from the music, which is timeless, but God. Like, there had never been a water stage quite like this. Even in something like Echo the Dolphin, I don't think it conveyed the same sense of awe that this did. I actually liked Echo the Dolphin from what I played of it. I was never a Sega kid, but I was always drawn to games that had a strong atmosphere and appreciation of nature, which wasn't much, but it's no wonder this game became my lifelong passion. So there's Ingard. This will not be the last time we can get him here, which creates a continuity wrinkle, which I've infamously, among certain people, fan-wanked away. Because there's not two swordfish animal buddies. This is not a purple parrot situation. Croctopus. Why is the balloon gone? Why is the balloon gone? That, I had plenty of time and it just despawned. Croctopus ate it. I have to admit, not having Ingard supercharge in his game throws me off. And am I making excuses for when I inevitably lose him? Yes. Will I suck just as badly when I play DKC 2 tomorrow? Yes. It's also just fun to see Donkey Kong riding Ingard. He looks so happy. Look how happy he is. Look at him. Look at him. He's just, his head's going back and forth. He's like, I don't need to worry about oxygen. Not yet. This is great. So we got the second Ingard coming up here. Alright, so let me pause so that Croctopus doesn't get in the way. So yeah, 2 Ingards. Now, there are lots of theories on this. Some people say, well, yes, there are 2 swordfish animal buddies, DK Vine, and you need to come up with a fanon name for that second Ingard. And I say, look, this is clearly a hard light hologram of Ungard that's generated because of a glitch in the animal crate system. And so if you, I think in the sequels, when you open up an animal crate, if you already have that animal, which you can pull off once or twice, then there'll just be a puff of smoke and nothing will happen. So they did resolve it eventually, but yeah, here it makes no sense. It's like, is Ungard a drone? Is he not a singular character? Is it like Toads are now in the Mario series? No, I don't like that. Hard light hologram. If I hop off this Ungard and jump on that Ungard, then I guess it will shift which Ungard is which, or I don't know, but is only one Ungard. He's a singular character. Don't ruin me, okay? I just found out Diddy Kong's in Mario Kart 64, having to accept a second swordfish animal buddy this late in the game. Oh, here we go. Are we ready for this? The moment when you get sucked out of a stage for the first time. How do I fly with Ungard? Or Espresso. I called him Ungard because I was still... Okay. Not used to these button mappings, and this is the first time I've controlled Espresso in a while. Obviously, you want to get as many of the little golden tokens as you can before you go over the wall at the end, because it's a multiplier, but sometimes I don't want to stay the entire time in here. We're only doing this for 90 minutes today, so... Here, I'll get 300. Okay. Oh, right. That doesn't automatically exit the bonus stage. You just have to wait it out. All right. And there is a code where you can, I think it's the Diddy code, where you can play those at any time you want, independent of, collecting the tokens. Oh, now the second Ungard crate's gone. Good riddance to that headache. Ah! No. Come on. Ah! Alright. And I don't get another Espresso token either. It's weird what things will respawn and what won't when a level sort of resets. So the Kong letters in this game, obviously DKC2 introduced the spinning versions of the Kong letters, which they would replace these with in the Game Boy Advance remake. So I take it that the Kong letters are all supposed to be the same. Oh yeah, 2 bite sizes in one. But yeah, this is where Clambos come in. Love those tongues, by the way. Look at the little tongue on Clambo. I'm surprised there's not more fan art. Sorry, that was my alarm. I don't know why that went off. Because there's not more fan art of Clambo in a pleasurable sense. Now, speaking of the Robin Beanland song, let's go in here. Would you have ever thought that this guy right here would become one of the most important characters in the franchise, and having the entire marketing around the Switch version of Tropical Freeze centered around him? A fixture now of Mario Kart. He's such a one-note joke character here, and honestly, Funky Kong has the most depth of most any Nintendo character. It's the weirdest damn thing that this guy. This is pointless running him out when you're still in the Congo jungle, but then that turns the map screen into his theme song, which was originally composed for a Killer Instinct trailer, which you can hear it if you shut your eyes and picture, I don't know, Jago fighting TJ combo, but yeah. Now, Barrel Cannon Canyon. So this is a bit more difficult, and I could go about this 2 ways. Got a banana. You get a banana whenever you do that, but It's just so cumbersome. I could go up here. Shit! There we go. I could go up here and take the shortcut, which will take me essentially halfway through the stage, but I'll miss out on all the bits. Well, I'm not gonna miss out on all the bits. I could take that. Sometimes that's preferable, but we'll just do it right. So many jumping critters here. Oh no! See? That's what I get. That's what I get for not taking the shortcut. Now I'm left with Donkey Kong, who cannot jump as high. Oh, I missed the Winky token, which Cranky talks about that Winky token all the damn time. And you think, okay, it's Winky in Barrel Cannon Canyon, because he doesn't specify just talking about a token. He says Winky, and so you think you're just missing your frog animal buddy in this stage. He doesn't debut until World 2. I don't have much longer to go before getting Diddy back. I feel naked without him. This is our introduction to barrel cannon blasting. Yeah, there we go. Come here. Also haven't commented on the butterflies. The butterflies that are everywhere in the Congo jungle, including Donkey Kong's Treehouse. Just a great little touch. I just love the little world building. Oh, fuck. This is the worst one, too. I think Rambi became the de facto main animal buddy as an apology for him having the worst bonus stage in the original Donkey Kong Country. They were like, oh, I'm sorry, Rambi. Do you just want to overshadow everyone else for the rest of your career? Just nice of them. I hate this one. I'm not even gonna bother getting the token because the big token because what? I just wanted it to end. Also, it's weird that the game like introduces you to the snow. I know I'm back at the beginnings. Fine, fine. Now, okay, I'm back here. Well, that was nice of them. I never put it two and two together that that was there as a way to get you back if you got all 3 Rambi tokens. Probably not the reason, but that's my reason today. Ah, but you think, and then no. I originally found out, like most people, by missing. There's the star barrel, which, no offense to Professor Chops, but it's nice not to have the pig jump out and do a little swivel, because he doesn't have the sexy hips that Donkey Kong does, right? His hips are not as sexy. Let that be on record that I said today that Professor Chops does not have as sexy hips as Donkey Kong. Alright, that TNT barrel, slippery. When in doubt, just use Diddy to hold out the, so I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm gonna get at the top. This is a crapshoot here. Let's go up the middle. Yeah, I got the best one. I planned for that to happen, totally. Ah, fuck. Whatever. It's just not a lot of room to stand here. It's really weird, you know, their attack method. It's like, okay, just kind of skip like you're happy, like just dance like nobody's watching, and then just jump really high. That's all you do. That's all they're trained to do. I like that there's a whole, like, division of the Kremlin crew just designed to jumping really obtrusively. This is where I freaked out as a kid. Because it's like, what do you mean? You're putting bees in front of me? No shame in taking it slow. It is forgiving though, the hitboxes for the bonus, or for the barrel cannons. You don't have to get precisely in the middle of them. Alright, this barrel cannon canyon. Is it anybody's head cannon, besides my own, that this region of the Congo jungle is probably where Dixie lives? Like up in those, up there, like right north of Barrel Cannon Canyon? Because that's my head cannon, but alright, let's visit Candy. Yeah, just blow kisses to your boyfriend's underage sidekick. That's appropriate. Hold on. We have to do it. I'm sorry. This is a requirement. Any Donkey Kong Country stream worth its salt has to pull this off. Let's go. She kissed his butt. Did you see that? Oh. It's a pleasurable technique if you do it right. All right. So this is the most pathetic boss in Donkey Kong Country history. Very naughty. From kissing butts to beavers. That's the kind of stream this is. Oh no, I beat Congo Jungle's Diddy. Oh well. Then a giant banana comes down and Diddy throws his hat like it's graduation day. Alright, so you'll notice now the Gangplank Galleon sailing in the background, and this is another aspect of the game that most people miss. I'm not saying any of you watching right now missed it, but I'm saying most people, like the general audience. Nintendo fans who might not be Donkey Kong diehards, they always miss the fact that the ship gets bigger each time you beat a world. It gets closer and closer, and because when you first start the game, it's not there at all. Now there's a little speck on the horizon, and it's funny, you know, when I went to Rare in 2016, Greg Mails was going on about like the wheel of emotion that he wanted to make gamers feel in Sea of Thieves, and like, how do you feel when a ship appears on the horizon? And it's kind of funny to trace some of that stuff all the way back to 1994. It's like, oh, there's a ship on the horizon. Is it a friend or a foe? What are they? Obviously, it's a foe. It's K. Rool. But also, Crocodile Isle is like in front of Donkey Kong Island from this perspective, right? So he would have to be sailing around the back of the island. He's not taking a direct route, and I guess that he would do that to ambush them. But interesting. All right, Winkies Walkway. And Winky is the first animal buddy to get his name in the level name. Good for you, Winky. This is a basic stage. This is not a lot to this one. But I do like the idea that you're just on a rickety scaffolding right now, because how much does Donkey Kong weigh? According to Donkey Kong 64, it was 800 pounds. I don't know how verifiable that is, but this should not be holding up right now. And so steadily too, doesn't even sway. And there he is. I always thought those were ears when I was a kid, not his eyes. Oh, Winky. Winky, he's a bit janky. He's a bit hard to control sometimes. He's loose, and the hitbox doesn't make sense at times when you're colliding with an enemy, which is why one of the reasons they replaced him with Radley in Donkey Kong Country 2. But I mean, everybody loves Winky. Even if you think Radley is more fun to play as, I think a lot of people prefer Winky as a character because he's a giant frog. It's like a giant tree frog. Here we get the oil drums that shoot baddies. Which oil drums are of course, you know, a relic from the original Donkey Kong arcade. It's fun to see what they've retrofitted for the country games. If you didn't have Winky here, if you already lost Winky, you would not be able to get the top row of banana bunches. I don't think. It's been a while since I've done that without Winky. And it's so satisfying when Winky takes out a zinger. I realize, like, when I say things, it's satisfying when Winky takes out a zinger. To the layman, to anybody, like a neighbor of mine who's putting their ear against the wall, they'll probably think I'm having a stroke. Because none of this terminology makes sense to anybody not well-versed in these games. Alright, here we go. Here's where I'm really gonna suck, because Retro's minecart stages, which there's an abundance of, control differently than Rare's minecart stages. And of course there's only minecarts in the first Donkey Kong Country game. They were replaced with roller coasters and toboggans, sleds in the third game. So, and they all controlled a little bit differently, but yeah, this is gonna feel a lot heavier and a lot slower than Retro's like bombastic, elastic gravity. So I'm gonna take a sip of my energy drink and prep for this. I wish I had something. I'm saving the stronger stuff for later in the day. I don't want to drink too much this early on in our streaming schedule. Hello to Chris Alcock, Just Andre, some other people in the live stream that I've missed since I've been so focused on the damn game. Now, there's a shortcut there, right down there. So if I hop over this, and I believe if I hug the wall, it will send me to the. I can demonstrate it. Why don't I just demonstrate? I'll just demonstrate it. Boom! That freaked me out as a kid. But you still have to do this bit. That cheap crash at the end there. Fun fact, did you know that originally Diddy Kong Racing's Crunch was named Crash? He was just gonna be a Crash. And then they probably changed it, I don't know if because of Crash Bandicoot or what, but you know, Crash with a K, but still. I like that they changed him to his own individual critter. It makes it a lot more of a memorable character than what Barrel Blast did, which was just have, you know, clump. Here's a clump. Here's a copter. What do you want? What do you want from us? Ah, see, it's so heavy. This is gonna be embarrassing. I'm so sorry. I would like to apologize to anyone watching who has any faith in me, who ever believed in me. 'Cause this is. Ugh. Oh, it seems fine now. Just you wait. Wait till the crashes come. Whew! Thought that was gonna take me out. Alright, I got to the star barrel. Bah! It helps if you exclaim like you're vomiting. Blah! See? Blah! Blah! Yes! Oh, fuck! Pride cometh before the fall. Oh god, that one is the worst. See, and that minecart always gets me in that upturned minecart. I've got to do it, right? This gives you Diddy right there, or DK if it's vice versa. Don't need no colored DK barrels in this game. They're all the same. 'Cause both characters had the initials of DK. One reason why I didn't like Kitty's name, because I missed it there, but whatever. So long as I can get to that one upturned cart with both Kongs. See, I always get tripped up by that one. I don't know why. Bong, bong, bong. Donkey bong. Fuck! I was laughing at my hysterical joke about bongs, and I let the crash defeat me. We can't have that. I won't allow it. This is a matter of pride now. What if Crunch is one of these crashes? What if he's that last son of a bitch at the end who always gets you? What if, like, Crash remembered that and he didn't want to bring it up to Diddy, especially when they started to get along? Oh, I jumped over it. Nice. Alright, what happened there was I fell. Because my palms are getting sweaty. You ever get sweaty palms when you're playing a really, like, intense game? It's funny, you know, my palms haven't sweated over Donkey Kong Country in many of the year. But today, when I'm streaming in front of a bunch of people, I'm very self-aware right now. This is great. It'll be fine when we're playing Bleeding Edge, because, like, nobody has any, like, faith that I'm good at that. This, on the other hand, it's Donkey Kong Country. Oh my god, and then it's the last crash at the end. Alright, I did it. I did it. Where's my prize? Bouncy Bonanza. Everything's so alliterative in this game. Look how dim this is, too. It's amazing how much the DKC team could do. Really, all of the original DKC teams from 1 through 3 with, like, such reusing the same assets. If I could get a Rambi token if I bring a tire back over, I think. I'm not gonna do it though. I'm not gonna do it because that's my least favorite one. But, like, you think about how many times caves appear in this game, right? And how they just tweak things like the coloring or the lighting to make it feel like a different experience each time. And it's really, like, noticeable too when you get to Country 2 and usually only have an archetype reused in Country 2, I think 3 times, more or less. And each one feels different. You're never thinking like, oh, they're just reusing the same backgrounds. It always feels shit. It always feels fresh, to borrow a term that we loathed for a while. See, okay, so if I'm gonna switch to Diddy for this. Now it's the matching game. So just follow the... Oh, 1 banana. All right, I'm gonna go for the 1 banana, everyone. Because I felt bad for it, right? I felt bad for it. Nobody wants the 1 banana. It's like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Yeah, I got 1 banana. Throw your hat in the air, Diddy. You did it. You're a video game hero. Really are a lot of zingers in this game too. Everybody thinks about Donkey Kong Country 2 as being the zinger game because we visit their hives and everything, but no. Come on. Do it. But yeah, this game is like lousy with zingers. They're really like, I know they're allied with the Kremlins. They're part of the Kremlin crew, but they are the most ubiquitous Donkey Kong animal buddy outside of the Kremlin, or not animal buddy, just enemy outside of the Kremlin crew, or the Kremlins. Sorry, I'm all over the map right now. So let's see if the, so in the first, 1.0 games or whatever, there was a bug where if you take Winky back in here, get Winky out of the crate and exit, you'll suddenly have Rambi. That's the way it is with my cartridge, my original cartridge on the Super Nintendo. They patched that out in later re-releases, and I think they patched it out of the one that's on the Virtual Console. But we'll try. We'll try. Ah, no, I have Winky. That's no fun. That's not authentic to me. To me, the authentic experience is having Rambi at this point, who is actually very good in this stage. Plain Rambi in this stage, he's actually preferable to Winky, because, see, look at this nonsense. Look at this nonsense. Wee, wee, wee. He'll just charge right through them. He doesn't give a fuck. Winky has to really, like, plan this out. Anyway, if you have a first generation Donkey Kong Country cartridge, try that out. You won't be disappointed. Unless you actually don't have a first generation Donkey Kong Country cart. And this was also North America. If you have like PAL or any other releases, then it might not work. I don't need that DK barrel, so I'm not even gonna try. But I lost Winky. Oh, he's right there. Oh, look at him freaking out. Look at him. Oh, I can just stay here forever and just see how long his panic lasts. You know, I have a dog who is very reactive, and she freaks out over the smallest things. Even she doesn't have a freak out as long as the animal buddies do. If you just like, Winky, you were touched by a crocodile, man. Or no, you were touched by a giant bee. And yeah, when I'm stung by a bee, I'm very dramatic about it too, but this is ridiculous. And then just landing on his back makes it all right somehow. I don't know. Oh. See, this is why Rambi is better here. Of course, then you don't need the tires. Ah! Just barely made it, but there's nothing up here but bananas. And as we've already established, I only like collecting one banana. But I got them all. Also, it's weird too when you think about these caves. There has to be lighting in them, because look at the background there. Like there's light being generated from some source on the stalactites and stalagmites. If you've ever like been in a cavern where they do tours, which here in Virginia, in the U.S. there are so many, especially around the Shenandoah Valley, you can just go on a cavern tour, and this is exactly what it looks like. But if you ever go caving or spelunking, it doesn't look like that, because you're just going into a muddy, dark, dank hole in the ground. And you would think they're going spelunking. Maybe it's like leftover from the miners. I don't know. Oh! Speaking of creepy mines, here we go. Was the stop and go station like a petrol station near Rare back in '94? I want to say that sounds about right, but sometimes I invent my own like backstory for these things. So these are rock crocs, and this is when a lot of people noped right out of Donkey Kong Country. Like, I don't need this. I don't need this stress in my life. Which was the mid-90s, so I don't know why people were stressed. Kurt Cobain's suicide, And there is an espresso token up there. Oh, see what I did right there was I waited too long. I was navel gazing at the token. The sound of the claptraps biting. really shines through here with the ambient noise. Alright, so I'm also gonna need this for a bonus stage. If you're wondering, like, I would say 50% of this is memory and 50% of this is just instinct where the bonus stages are. It has been, I guess, about a year since I played Donkey Kong Country last. Like, played it through to the end. So I was actually gathering screenshots for the Facebook page, the DK Vine Facebook page. Yeah, Facebook is problematic now, but I have an audience of over 30,000 on there, so can't abandon it. All right. Okay. There's a little wiggle room there with the rock rocks where they're starting to rise up. They're not as terrifying as you think. Now, would I want to encounter them in the wild? Yes, because I'd be like, oh man, I run DK Vine and you're a rock rock. Can we like do a stage show together? Take you on tour like King Kong? Fuck. And I missed the bonus stage in Stop and Go Station. Okay. Well, for the interest of the stream, we will not go back to that. I will visit Candy though. Hello guys, got anything worth saving? Everything sounds like an innuendo with Candy Kong. Like, got anything worth saving? Is she just referring to like Donkey Kong's his dick, right? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know with Candy Kong. I don't dislike Candy. I don't dislike any Donkey Kong character, honestly. Like, I find something to like and appreciate about all of them. And the thing most people don't realize, because we've like boosted Cranky and Funky into like more deep characters, like they have more nuance to them than they did here, but all of the Kong helpers in this game were archetypes and stereotypes and almost piss takes. Candy is the only one that still feels that way, and I think it's just because her design is upsetting. I mean, it's obviously a sexualized gorilla who's like a 50s pinup model, and I think it's funny in a way, but you know, if they ever bring back Candy, I do want them to attempt to add more depth, which they sort of did with DK64, in that like it was revealed that she has a career outside of saving games, and that she runs a music shop, and then she runs a dance studio. But I think might be a little too late, especially with DK64, where she really upped the innuendo. Like, it was just blatant in that game. And this was the era of Banjo-Kazooie, and right before Conquer, too. So, I mean, and there's Funky. Funky's right next to Candy, which I'm sure he likes. See, if you guys see Candy on your travels, tell her I'll give her surfing lessons anytime. And it's from this that the fanon that Funky and Candy, if they're not having an affair, then there's definitely this deep attraction between them. That seems to go both ways, especially like post-Rare, we see it from Candy's perspective a little bit. And her Smash 4 trophy even references it. So personally, I ship Candy and Funky. I think they're a better couple than Donkey and Candy. I think Donkey should just be a bachelor, because he, you know, whatever, you know, he can't like settle down. But Funky would be a good boyfriend, Candy. You should pursue that. But it's kind of hard to, you know, dump the dude whose, you know, island you live on is named after. Fuck, alright. There we go. So I did the middle last time. Let's do the left. Oh, okay, that would have been great if I didn't have... But then there's a DK barrel right there, so what's the point of that? What is the point of that? Okay, so here's Crusha, the introduction of Crusha, and watch. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Crusha. No, it's fun when you roll into them because it like tickles them, and you're like, I'm tickling his man boobs. And I imagine this is the way Fabio would sound when he's not chilling for I can't believe it's not butter. Remember Fabio? No? Okay, that's fine. Obviously, Donkey Kong's the only one who can take these out with his own power, which would become a problem when there was no Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Country 2 and Crush is rebranded as Cruncha. They were a little smaller, but they were still the same. If you look at the render, they're the same. Not a bonus stage, but an unearthed attire, which we'll need. So these temples, these are Kremlin temples on Donkey Kong Island, which support the idea that the Kremlins were the original inhabitants of Donkey Kong Island before the apes gained enough sentience to become the Kongs. And this is a backstory that's like further elaborated on, at least through context clues in Donkey Kong Land, when we see just offshore there is the Kremlantis Empire, which is what these temples are a part of. Rare? You want me to spell rare? Sound like I don't type that once a day. Alright. Do Platonic next. Fuck! Here's some studio shilling, and then this is what we give you. We give you one of these. Oh, yeah, let's multiply 18. Sure. I don't care. I've stopped caring. Also, is in Guard, is he in the Red Sea from Sea of Thieves? Is he in a Devil's Shroud right now? What is this? Why is he in blood? If you go swimming and the water is this red, I would advise to get the hell out because something horrible has just happened in that water and the sharks are on their way. Wish I had the supercharge. That's not a Skylanders reference. That's his extra stabby move in DKC 2. Whatever. 2 lives. This is where I learned what a millstone was too. My education mostly comes from Donkey Kong games, so I didn't know what a millstone was as a kid. This taught me what a millstone was. And when I saw a millstone for real, I was very disappointed there wasn't, 1, they weren't that big, and 2, that there's no beaver inside. God, I love that music. It's kind of Peruvian, South American a little bit, which doesn't really fit with the architecture, but I'll allow it. Alright, let's see if I can get up there. Winky is a nuisance in this level. I hate to say it, but Winky just gets in the way sometimes. On? What does that mean? On what? Oh, I'm on Winky. I get it. You don't have to tell me that. I can see it. Oh, fuck you, you necky. Why do they throw coconuts? When has that ever been a trait of vultures outside of Donkey Kong Country? Look how fast this... I'm gonna leave Winky behind. It's not worth it. Winky just slows me down here. See, I can move much... Whoa! I can move much faster as Diddy. And I can die as Diddy, too. If I had to die today, I'd want to die as Diddy Kong. See, if I had Winky, I could have gotten both bananas there. But really, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't think so. And I didn't get all the bonus stages either. But it's okay. It's okay, because we're going to visit Cranky. And Cranky can give me shit for it. Yes, I'm gonna sit here and watch the whole thing, thank you. I wonder how much this just flies over the head of kids who played this. What's a 2-frame walk? What, like... I like the lines of dialogue that are just filler, like, well, I've never seen anything like it. Like, what? I know that's just like a stock elderly person dialogue, but we visit the inside of his cabin in the Game Boy Advance remake, and he's got some interesting artifacts in there. He's got what looks to be a decapitated saber wolf head. He's got Mumbo Jumbo's mask. I'm gonna save really quick, because if I have access to a candy, I might as well save, or to a candy save point. Wow, you guys really came a long way. Just the phrasing seems wrong. I don't know. Am I reading into things? Probably. Never been complimented on the length of how far I've come. All right. Necky's nuts. Hey, now we go from beavers to nuts. Okay, whatever. Won't these bananas just go bad in 3 days? It's a lot of effort, Donkey Kong. How much do you eat in a day? And what you want to do, right, is you want to go back and you want to go and save. I am an obsessive saver in these games. Whenever I can save, I take that chance. And it's not something we ever have to worry about in games these days. But yeah, just the system of saving a candy and then taking Funky. Because you could get deep into a world before you see either one. And as the game progresses, you know, it gets harder, obviously. And, you know, I have 43 lives at the moment, so... So this is where things get temperate. I love these forests. This was pretty cool, the revelation that it wouldn't just all be jungles and like you would be going up through different climates and biomes. All right. Oh, he's an easier Necky. I see his pattern. He doesn't even fling them out all the way. And then, oh, I see that banana trail. They're being sneaky. They're being sneaky. I can't push the tire too far, but yeah. Are you really gonna make me spell Kong? I spell that in every level. I should also point out that vulture culture is a reference, and it's a reference to an album. In a live stream, you'll be able to tell me. I usually know who it is, but Conquer's Pocket Tales would also reuse it in the for the desert dwelling. Oh shit! How did that happen? How did I open that? Okay, whatever. But the basically the faux Native Americans, the indigenous Acorn people in outside of Vultureville, were called the vulture culture. David Wise wasn't even involved in that game. Just Rare must have really loved referencing. All right, I got a balloon. Alan Parsons project, says Jeff. Okay, well, Jeff, I'm sorry, but Alan Parsons is like not even in my top 30. I have no beef with Alan Parsons or his project, but whatever. Shut up, boomer. I've referenced Conker's Pocket Tales an alarming amount on this Donkey Kong Country stream. Why does it always come back to Conker's Pocket Tales with us? It's not even like in my top 30. It's like the Alan Parsons project of the DKU, really. No! See, you think it's gonna be that, and it's not, and then you get shot in the back twice. Is that a John Lennon reference? I don't know. Just, come on, Jeff, let's just reference classic rock. Jeff will be joining me when we play Bleeding Edge here at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So stay tuned for that. Bleeding Edge, by the way, is a DKU cameo game by way of the appearance of the Gold Hoarder from Sea of Thieves, aka Wrathbone. Well, it's a long story. We'll explain it on Bleeding Edge. Alright. Alright, so now this is one of the neckies that I hate. It's always that erratic coconut on the left. It sounds like something Trump would tweet. That erratic coconut on the left. Well, we're not gonna reference him, are we? And there we go. And then you get 2 bananas, and then you get a DK barrel, and then you get 10 bananas, and then you get the letter N, and then that's it. And I could fall in a pit right now and it would still count, I think. But why would I fall down a pit when I could just walk through a tree hole? If I'm ever in nature and I encounter a hole through a tree or a pit, I generally avoid falling into pits. A little survival advice for you. Didn't have my bear hike this year, but you know, I can still give survival advice when out in the wilderness. Because I'm that cool. I'm a Renaissance man. I play video games. And I know how to make my way through nature. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I was getting tired of waiting. All right, and I 100%ed Vulture Culture. Hey. So you know in Return of the Jedi when, yeah. Alright, you didn't see that, whatever. You didn't, it's not canon, that didn't happen. Why don't I use the naughty instead? Why was I trying to use the necky? I don't know. You're gonna make me spell Kong again? God. There. I rebelled. Kinogue. That's what I wanted to spell, game, because I was tired of spelling Kong. Kinogue could, like, sounds like one of the ostriches in Donkey Kong Country 2 for Game Boy Advance. The Kremlin racing ostriches. There could be Minogue and there could be Kinogue. I think the instruction manual said that the Treetop Town was abandoned, but you look, everybody's clearly home. It's clearly a bustling civilization. This is where the residents of Vine Valley live, and it's not abandoned. There's lights. And if they were, like, who's paying the electric bill if nobody's home? Is there like some sort of like national trust of Donkey Kong Island that preserves historical sites? This is a waste of electricity if true. No, it has to be populated. The instruction manual is wrong. How did, no, that's not canon either. That didn't happen. Thank you, see? The game agrees with me. It's like, oh, we'll retcon that. That never happened, Hyle. You're right. You're right about everything, Donkey Kong. We bend to your will. All right, so that did happen. I can't pretend that didn't happen. I got ahead of myself because we only have like 15 minutes left before we're taking our 30-minute break and switching over to Xbox. So I was trying to rush. A little bit, and because I don't know how I'm gonna beat K. Rool in 15 minutes. So there we go. Whee! That's actually fun. Whee! All right. It's the small things you take joy in. Do they get motion sickness, I wonder, in these things? Oh yeah, I forgot there's the little barrel there that will grant you some clemency if you screw this up. It's nice of them. I want the G! Okay. Nope. Oh, did I miss Winky here? Or is that just do a roll jump? Whatever. Hey. I'm gonna go save. Yeah, Crucial Kongs. If you feel the need for speed, jump in and like Jet. He is the most brilliant Kong. He's the smartest. He's got like 17 businesses now. Forest Frenzy. Let's see if I can beat Forest Frenzy in 10 minutes. Oh yeah, this stage. This one gave me some trouble back in the day. Will it still? See, you could take the rope, but then you're missing the K. So you gotta do that. Roll jumping is vital to this game, and I don't know how much... Like, if you didn't read the instruction manual, would that ever be communicated to you? Whatever. Well, I'm gonna go without the O then. That's the way this has gotta be. Now, they like to hide bonus barrels or barrel cannons down below, so I have to like did I miss one? I don't know. They could be coming up. I just remember they hid one and it was devious. Feel free to scream at me if I missed one. I don't... Can you? Because you're also avoiding the zingers, and it's like... Yeah, I hear you, Diddy. There's not much I can do about it. Oh, here... Oh, there it is. There it is. Ah! Whew. Ew, I don't want that. Why are you looking at your wrist? You're not wearing a watch, Donkey Kong. Alright, whatever. Thank God that's the only one I have. Thank Log, that's the only one I have. Donkey Kong's kind of a weirdo that he like pantomimes looking at his wrist when he's not wearing a watch. It's never been an aspect of his character. So if you take this barrel and you don't use it for destructive purposes yet, it pays off, but you have to get rid of the jumping critters. And I'm taking it with me so it doesn't despawn. Whoa! 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 Alright, this is a good opportunity to see that Donkey Kong's in-game model only has 4 fingers. Early on, he like the decision to give him 5 fingers came late, and so they created new renders that reflected that. But in-game, if you squint, and it's clearer on like the Virtual Console. But yeah, he's only got 4 fingers. But we'll just pretend like he's got one of those fingers folded underneath the others, because the intention was 5 fingers at this point. All right, we have about 8 minutes, so I might as well go to Temple Tempest. Also, notice this. Okay, so Vine Valley, it's this bit here, and it's technically this bit over here, but look, you're crossing over into a small islet. And the German Donkey Kong 64 website or guide, it was German at least, said that Lanky Kong originated from Utan Island, and it's like not hard canon or anything, but I remember one of our forum members said that this little islet that's part of Vine Valley, but could technically be Utan Island, especially since the stage Orangutan Gang comes up a little bit later, and I like that, so that's kind of my headcanon now, that this is where Lanky Kong is from, this little island right here. This is where the orangutans of Donkey Kong Island live, because this is where it stops being temperate. It's jungle out there, and this is the only time too where we're like physically on the ocean. There's Clam City is a stage in the middle between all this coming up, but yeah, that's the only really ocean-bound bits in the game. Everything else takes place on a lake, an island, or at the very least a bay. Yeah. Would need Diddy if I wanted to get up there. Sure, it's possible with Donkey Kong, but... And this is where they chase you. They chase you. The first of many wild chases in the Donkey Kong series. This is less terrifying than King Zing chasing Rambi, or any of the numerous ones in the retro games, but... Or Nemo, Nautilus chase in Donkey Kong Land. Watch it come up there. Yeah. Ultimately, it's just a beaver in a giant wheel. It's fun to watch them run off sometimes. But it does make me feel like I have to move fast and not navel gaze at things like I like to do. Yeah, whatever, it's not worth it. It's probably gonna be an animal token. Can I trigger him and then just let him run? No, doesn't work. Game's on to me. Oh, fuck me. That's another one. It's like that upturned minecart in Minecart Carnage. It always gives me a little bit of... What? Oh, come on. It always gives me a little bit of problem right there. And now that I've got Donkey Kong, I don't think I'll do it. I don't think it's gonna happen this go around. I can try, though. I can try. Whatever, I'm not gonna get that. See, I don't know how much a roll jump helps here, because then you're just rolling. If you time it like, yeah. All right, don't lose your second Kong. That's what I have to do. 'Cause, yeah, there's a way. Yeah, you can jump over it, but it's just. See, if I can get there as Donkey, then. Oh, see, yeah. I just needed the confidence, and I let him just go right over, and now I have no path. See, okay. Well, Donkey, are you ready to sacrifice yourself on the wheel of industry? Come on. Come on, it's just like all the pundits on cable news. You have to sacrifice yourself for the good of the future generations, Donkey Kong. There we go, all right. All right. And I can save too. So we get to see Candy Kong one more time. Can I help you, monkey, save your game? Why does she misspecies her own boyfriend? Donkey Kong's a gorilla, he's not a monkey, so it's like, unless that's a pet name for him, like, hi monkey, but then she's using her pet name on Diddy, who is actually a monkey. It really coming odds with Candy Kong in this session. All right, so hello everyone in the live stream. Thank you for tuning in on this first game of our not E3 Stream-A-Ganza, whatever you want to call it. This so this is the end of Donkey Kong Country 1, although, you know, I've had a lot of fun streaming it today, and expect more of these in the future. Like as the summer goes on, I'm going to start streaming games on Twitch, and I will definitely get back to the original Donkey Kong Country because it's a lot of fun when I have an audience. It was nerve-wracking at first, but this was enjoyable, and I'm going to make a habit out of it and really focus on our Twitch channel again. So this is kind of getting that off the ground. So don't feel bad that we didn't get to Orangutan Gang. I will be playing more Donkey Kong Country very soon. So it's just a little samples of every game. Obviously, we're gonna keep our Sunday Sea of Thieves streams, but you know we'll be diversifying as you need to do with your portfolio. That's something that people tell me to do. I don't know. I have like $300 to my name. I don't know what any of that means. But anyway, Chris Alcock says Diddy Kong Racing Adventure 2, please. Oh, I thought you were talking about Diddy Kong Racing Adventure, that failed pitch for the GameCube, which used all of these assets and characters that Rare owned. It's like, I guess I could try to play a leaked copy of that, but anyway, so Bleeding Edge is coming up at 2 o'clock. I'm taking a 30-minute break to pop my dog outside and eat something, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I need to eat. I don't know. Video games are all the nutrients my soul needs, so I can keep going. Whoop! Stupid gamepad. But yeah, we'll be back for Bleeding Edge at 2. Then at 3, it's Ukulele. And at 4, we'll be playing Sea of Thieves Tall Tales #1. And then 6 o'clock when the Idaho crew takes over, and they'll be doing a comparison of Conker's Bad Fur Day with Conker Live and Reloaded. And then at 8 o'clock, we'll be doing a live conversation broadcast here on Twitch, where we'll talk about the state of Nintendo, sort of in absence of any Nintendo news for quote-unquote E3. And then 10 o'clock, going into whoever knows how long, the Idaho crew will be back with a multiple game showcase of DKU multiplayer games. And then, of course, that will wrap up day 1, but we'll be back day 2 at noon Eastern tomorrow with Donkey Kong Country 2. So stay tuned. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Thanks so much. Go get something to eat. Go get a drink. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. It's hot outside. I'll see you soon. Bye.